Alright, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. As part of the Rankin Technical College AWD, or Application and Website Development Program, and in particular the AWD1100 C# Programming Fundamentals class, I've been doing a series of video presentations based on the PowerPoint slides for the book we're using for the class. As you can see on the screen, the book is Muroc C# 2015. And so far, I've gone through the first 9 chapters, and I'm in Chapter 10, More Skills for Working with Windows Forms and Controls. In addition to these PowerPoint presentations, I've also been doing a series of video presentations based on a mythical payroll system, where I've incorporated things from most of the chapters. And for example, I've got both a console and a GUI app for chapters 2, 3, I did it as one program, 4, 5, and 6, and eventually I hope to do ones for 7, 8, 9, and 11, and then 12 through 26 as well. So, to get started, I'm in the middle of, well, near the beginning of Chapter 10, and I just wanted I'm bopping back and forth, so to speak, between the program and the code. So what we've done is I built this GUI interface, but I added myself the credit card types, the months, and the years, without realizing that first the author wanted to add them in code. So when the author created a string array here, and then basically filled the combo box, all right, using the items add method, did a similar thing with the years, and let's see, also did a similar thing with a list box. So what I did was I went back in the program, which I still have up here. If you look, this is my interpretation of the program, but the idea is the credit card type was now decided or built. The entries in here were built through code, as were these entries, as were these entries. All right, so I changed it around to try to basically have it look the way the author's looks, for lack of better words. And in the form load, that's where we figured out the current year, added 8 to it, and filled up the list, or cleared the list box, then filled it up with the 3 entries. Then we cleared both combo boxes, filled up the month combo box with the year entries that we did, figuring it out from right here. Then we did a similar thing rather for the, did I go past it already? All right, so we had the months that I made global, even though we didn't have to. I could have done it in here. And then we filled up the year, the month, and the year. So again, all that stuff was filled up using code. All right. Now, they've got code examples in here that work with combo boxes, and they show you, for example, how to add things, but we already looked at that. This is how to remove an item. Notice if we do this, if we use an insert, if we do an add, it adds, in here it'll add Judy Taylor, then Ann Boehm, then Kelly Slivkov. All right, and that's the order in which they'll be. Here it says add Joel Muroc at 0. So Judy Taylor moves from 0 to 1, Ann Boehm from 1 to 2, Kelly Slivkov from 2 to 3, and Joe Muroc is at the beginning. Then it says remove at 3, so that's 0, 1, 2, 3, so Kelly Slivkov will be removed. All right. Here it says selected index equals -1, and I told you in an earlier lecture that -1 basically means nothing's selected. All right. So here's their group box that contains 2 radio buttons. Now, most of you who are watching this presentation are probably too young to remember this, but in the quote olden days, unquote, when we basically had AM radio, all right, in our cars, we had buttons for the radio, and the idea was you could press a button, and program in that station in that button. That's where this got its name from. All right, you can see right here that the circle is in here, meaning that it is checked. If I were to click here, the circle would then be in here, and a check changed event would have taken place. All right, you can set the value of either a checkbox or a radio button. In your code, you can set it to true. So, for example, if we go back to our code, and let's just assume here, I'm making this up, but let's assume here, let's go back and look right there. Come on. That we say that for billing, most people do have a credit card. We're just going to assume that. All right? So what I can do is in my form load event here, okay, I can come in and I can say radio button, credit card, dot checked equal true. All right? That'll automatically make sure that when I run the program, that's checked. And if you don't believe that, I'll change this back to radio button customer. I think that's what we call that one. It really should have been build customer. L customer. Well, isn't that interesting? Let's go back and change the name of that. I don't like that name at all. So we'll change this to radio button bill customer. I like that better. All right. Hopefully I spelled it right. Going back then to our code. This now becomes radio button bill customer. It looks like it's correct. And notice if I do that, notice which one is checked. There you go. I'm going to assume that most people are going to pay via a credit card, so I'm going to change it back to radio button credit card. All right. And again, just to double check, there it is. All right. I'm going to leave off the set as default billing method, but you'll notice I can check it at any time or uncheck it at any time. I can change this to here. That's a check changed event here. That's a check changed event here. All right. Here I am changing the selected index, and here I'm changing the selected index. And here I am as well. All right. So hopefully by going through a couple of fairly simple examples like that, okay, you're kind of seeing what's going on. All right. Most of these I think you can read through and figure out. Hopefully you can yourselves. Tab order. We have done this before, but let's do it again. All right. So I'm going to go here. When the program starts, I want the tab order to be like this. This one, then 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 this one. All right, so I'm going to start here, and I'm going to view my tab order, and I'm going to set them. So that'll be 0, that'll be 1, that'll be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Technically, I don't even have to set these because they're labels, and labels cannot get the tab order anyway. But let's see what happens now. So I'm going to save all, and I'm going to run the program. All right. Now I'm going to just start tabbing. Hopefully you noticed the tab order. Went from here. It can't really go to here, but it's jumping then from here. It looks like it's missing this too. But it goes here, 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 here. All right? To get those numbers to leave, all I do is another view tab order. All right? The other thing, and I don't know if they'll mention this now, but I can come in and I can set my default buttons. So what I want is if you hit the enter key, I want the OK button to go and execute. If I hit the escape key, I want the cancel button to execute. So how do I do that? I click on an empty part of my form. I go up here to accept button. And it says none. Click the down arrow. I'll choose button OK. And then I come down to cancel button. Do the same thing, but I want to choose button cancel. Now those are done by default. All right. So hopefully, just very quickly going over that tab order. All right. So they do mention, with a group box, their sub indexes, etc. You can read all that on your own. All right. Okay. Date time picker control. So they want an add new item. And I guess we're adding a new form. But so let's do that. Let's do that. Now, just so you know, now I wish that when I created my solution and called it control demo, I wouldn't have called this first form the same thing. But I did, so it's okay. But if I want to create a new form, I'm not going to click on the current form. I'm going to click on my solution here, and I'm going to do right mouse click and choose add. All right. And I'm going to select new item. And I want to find a form in here. All right. There should be a form in here someplace. Sort by, how about name in ascending order? And I believe I did this correctly. It's possible that I did not. So let's go back and check the way they're going through this in the book. All right, I'm at 12 minutes. I'm going to just go a couple more minutes in this particular lecture. So we are going to come in and add the date time picker. We'll add that into our new form. Okay, so they want us to go to add new item dialog box, and it has to be under Visual C# items. Okay. Thought we did it under project and not under here, because that doesn't make sense to do it under here. Add new item, Visual C#. No items available. Well, I'm doing something wrong. Let's try it from here. I didn't think you did it from here, so new item. I guess you do, because there's Windows Form. All right. Now, by default, it's called Form 2, which is kind of a dumb name, but we'll keep it. That's fine. Add. And notice I've now got a second form. Here's my first form. And here is my second form. Now, my first form has got a size on it of 660, it looks like, by 610. So I'm going to take the second one and I'm going to give it the same size. You don't have to do this, of course, but I am going to give it a different color. So my other one was kind of an orange. All right, so this one for the back color, let's make it a blue. All right. And in the next lecture then, when we start up in a couple minutes, we just did the add item. I showed you how to add a new form. I wish I would have read it. All right. How to add an existing form. We don't have an existing form, but the only difference would have been that rather than add new item, we would have added an existing item. All right. So it looks like we're going to want to do some kind of a payment thing in here. All right. So I will create that, this right here that you see. I will do that in the next lecture.